Yeshua asked the question, what will a man give in exchange for his soul? When it gets down to the very last thing, what is it, the last thing that you would hold on to? What matters the most? Hi, this is Barry Phillips. A 10-minute tour, day one of Tisa. When you count, or when you can lift up. So we are in Exodus or Shemot chapter number 30. Let's drop down to verse number 11, which says, And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, When you take the census of the children of Israel to register them, then each one shall give an atonement for his life to Yahweh when you register them, so that there is no plague among them when you register them. 3 times the same word is used. Everyone among them who are registered is to give this, half a shekel according to the shekel of the set-apart place, 20 gerahs being a shekel. The half shekel is the contribution to Yahweh. Everyone passing over to be registered from 20 years old and above gives a contribution to Yahweh. The rich does not give more, the poor does not give less than a half shekel when you give a contribution to Yahweh to make atonement for yourselves. And you shall take the silver for the atonement from the children of Israel and give it for the service of the tent of appointment. And it shall be to the children of Israel for a remembrance before Yahweh to make atonement for yourselves. The Greek mindset glories the individual accomplishments, hence the Olympic Games where individuals would compete for the particular crown that would be offered. Rob Schultz says not everyone who runs is going to win a prize. Not all can win, but if you don't run, you can't win. So you run. So we are seeing Greek thought prevail over most of the earth, where it is the rights of the individual. It is the benefit of the individual. And indeed, a spirit of narcissism, the extreme inflation of the person and his ego and his estimation of themselves, and at the expense of everyone and anything around them. That seems to prevail in many among us. To the opposite of that, then, is more Hebraic level of thinking, which focuses more on the community. We all are indeed individuals, but the importance of our individualism, our individual status, is how we relate to those that are around us and what we can help others along with ourselves to accomplish. So the goal is more about us and ours rather than about me and mine. The Torah addresses this here. And while Moshe was forbidden to outright just start lining men up and say 1, 2, 3, 4, he could indirectly number the men that were of 20 years old of age and above, which is the fighting force. And so they would take a census by the means of counting coins. Each individual man, rich, poor, or somewhere in between, would give the exact same monetary value for themselves, a half shekel. Now, it's very easy to draw the analogy that my half shekel and your half shekel put together makes a whole. Any of us by ourselves, we're only half as valuable as if we were to partner together, stand together. We are more complete together than by ourselves. All right, that's level one, and that's very easily understood. The word that is used here for register is the Hebrew word pakad. If you want to transliterate, you could spell that P-A-Q-A-D. Yes, I know we're missing the English spelling of Q-U there, but bear with me. So pakad, it is a pei, which references the mouth, a kof, which references the back of the head, talking about what is behind or what is last, and then the dalet, which represents a door. Letter symbolism alone, not a doctrine here, it's an interesting way of looking at it. The symbolism gives you the idea of behind the last door. That might be an interesting way of looking at it. Or open the last door would be a better way. The mouth you open up in order to speak. So let's say open the last door. This might then reference the idea that when an individual is counted, they are opening up the last door to reveal the last things that are hidden about themselves. And one other way of looking at it, when an individual is counted or numbered through the giving of his shekel, for that moment he is raised up and he is individualized and he is then vulnerable. We have to make ourselves vulnerable to certain levels in order for us to be able to figure out how our piece of the puzzle fits in with everyone else's. If someone has a talent, a skill, an ability, a gift of the Spirit, but they keep it hidden, they never really reveal it, and they are always quiet about it, and there is an obvious hole in the community where this need is needing to be filled, the individual with such a gift has to be bold enough to step up to the plate and say, I think I can help. I'm the one that can stand in the void here, the empty place, and make up the difference. If they always hug the wall, however, and never step forward, then it's the whole community that suffers the loss. So, to some degree, we should be humble about ourselves and we should be reserved to some level. But on the other hand, we have to be bold enough to be willing to be used. We have to speak up and we have to put ourselves out there to some degree and say, I'm the one you need. I'm the one that can make the difference. It's kind of like David showing up on the battlefield when everyone else was hiding. Goliath is standing out on the field, ranting and raving, raging against Israel. And David says, why doesn't someone do something about this? Well, I have a gift. I can sling stones. And I have another gift. I have a call of the Most High upon me. And I have another gift. I'm not afraid. I'm willing to give my life for Israel. We all know the end of that story. Goliath is dead. Israel has won a battle. And David has been recognized as someone worthy of note. He's not looking for applause or acclaim, but he got the job done. Here, Israel is needing a fighting force. Men step up, young, older, rich, poor. Their status is equalized and made on level field by the giving of the half shekel. These shekels ultimately would be molded into the silver sockets in which the boards and the frames of the tabernacle would be seated. And the sockets were situated so that one board was in part of it and another board, its neighbor, was in the other part. They stood together. One socket would have held two portions of two different boards, teaching us to stand together. Silver references redemption. And so it is in our redemption, the blood that Mashiach Yeshua shed for our atonement, for our deliverance from sin, the giving of his life, the resurrection power that he experienced to be raised from the dead to give us resurrection hope and life now, it's equal to all. It doesn't matter your last name, the color of your skin, the origin of your birth, your lineage. None of those things matter. For the blood of Messiah and the resurrection of Messiah is equally dispersed to us all. So we stand together, ready to give an account, ready to be utilized, ready to play our role, to do our part. We need one another. I need you. Maybe you need me. So let's be needy today, but let's also be available today. And we'll see you again tomorrow. Till then, shalom.